A former Deputy Energy Minister, K.T Hammond, and Member of Parliament for Adanse Asokwa says he's ready to face the Economic and Organized Crimes Office. This is after government's white paper on the Judgment Debt Commission ordered EOCO to probe his involvement into how he disbursed $900,000 from the sale of the GNPC drill ship. While speaking on News at 10 with Bright Nana Amfo, K.T Hammond described the white paper as laughable.
You don't trust the report?
Oh, it's hopeless, completely hopeless. It's useless. I mean, completely useless. I mean, the white paper, the evidence proposed to be based on the report submitted by the committee. It's hopeless because it's gone out of the report that everybody has read. I mean, all the news stations, radio stations, televisions, have all read it. There was not one word about criticism. These points were made, but they were that the fact that so much money went into paying some people and all that points were made because all the evidence leading to that were put before the commissioner. I mean, there was something else I heard. I haven't seen the report myself, but there's something else I heard about $100,000 reportedly given to the solicitors, constants, and constants. I mean, if it is in the report, if it is in the white paper, it's another useless piece because of the $100,000 that we talked about. $72,000 was again used to pay the indebtedness of Mr. Tatutikata to Bindman and Partners in London. $72,000 of the $100,000 was used for that purpose. Constant and Constance was not paid $100,000. That company was paid, I believe, something around $10,000 or $11,000 or so for their work. $72,000, apart from close to about, I think, 1.something million pounds sterling that had been paid by Mr. Tikata to Bindman and Partners, a further £50,000 sterling, which translated then into about $72,000 of the $100,000 was paid to them. I gave the documentary evidence to Mr. Justice Apple at the commission. You know, I mean, I don't know all this is. The 900 and that is now an issue. Mr. Justice Apple took the list of all those people, including one Mr. BK or ABK, whatever, and Mr. Arthur. Their names are all there. I gave to him. And I'm told about some mandate. You think a ship is like pepper, you just jump into you get into throttle and you go. The deputy minister, only a few months in my station, I jump onto the available British Airways flight, and then I'm roaming around the capitals of Europe, Paris, London. I'm looking for a ship to sell, isn't it? It's crazy.
So you don't trust the report because
I've told you many times that it's hopeless, it's useless. I've told you
because
it doesn't make sense.
Because it indicted you.
No. I mean, from what I'm hearing, I'm asked to explain my authority for what I did. But the authority has already been put before Mr. Apple's commission.
Meanwhile, lawyer Egbert Faibile Jr. has rejected the recommendations that EOCO should investigate K.T Hammond. He adds that EOCO then cannot investigate K.T Hammond contrary to what the government white paper has declared. He also spoke on News at 10 on Wednesday.
The High Court of the Republic of Ghana, at a point in 2009, superintended by His Lordship Justice Mafusau, a Justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting as an additional High Court judge, made a determination in respect of the Ghana 50 Commission of Inquiry, which involved, as you rightly pointed out, Dr. Charles Rekubobe and Mr. Kujon Penny. At a point, if you recall, the recommendation of the Ghana 50 Commission was that some money should be taken from Dr. Rekubobe and Mr. Kujon Penny. Well, as one of the lawyers at the time involved in that case, we raised a preliminary objection by way of an application to the High Court, and the High Court came to a determination that in the light of Article 280, Clause 2 of the 1992 Constitution, when you appear before a commission of inquiry as a witness and adverse findings are made against you, those adverse findings become a judgment of the High Court, and so you, as a subject matter, in respect of whom adverse findings have been made, you have a right of appeal to the Court of Appeal, and so the government, or for that matter, the state, cannot prosecute you.
Right.
Now, interesting, we have been informed about the the Commission of Inquiry and, for that matter, the white paper that has been issued by government, which government now publishes that Mr. K.T Hammond ought to be investigated by EOCO. The question that comes out is that, have any adverse findings been made against Mr. K.T Hammond? If any adverse findings have been made against Mr. K.T Hammond, then they constitute a judgment of a high court, because that Commission of Inquiry is deemed to be, or its adverse findings are deemed to be a judgment of the high court.
Right.
Now, subsequent to that, I have heard people close to government, very, very close to government, say that, oh, no adverse findings were made against Mr. K.T Hammond, and that government has rather resorted to some issues in the report and have now recommended that Mr. K.T Hammond should be investigated by EOCO. The question to ask is that, is it the police, BNI, or any governmental security agency that investigated Mr. K.T Hammond and, for that matter, made an inquiry? No. It is the Commission of Inquiry. And you know, when you appear for a Commission of Inquiry, because it has the powers of a high court, you are stripped bare of all protections. You appear as a witness, and so once, you know, anything that is to be used for the investigation arises from that appearance for the Commission of Inquiry.